Wait, advanced storm options? It's about time.
Drop it.
Hi guys, welcome to JackjackHD's channel. Make sure you use code JackJack, and subscribe and like the video. Peace. Enjoy the video.
Hey, what's up you guys, JackJack here. So today I'm going to show you guys how to use the new advanced storm controller and the new advanced storm beacon to make a moving zone on creative mode. Alright you guys, so the new advanced storm controller, you can actually make a moving zone now on creative mode, and I'm going to try to show you guys how to use it. It's a little bit more complicated than the basic storm controller obviously, and there's a lot more options, a lot more things you can do with it. So try to stick with me and I'll do my best to, explain to you guys how it works. We didn't get the advanced storm controller. We had the basic storm controller for a while, and I visited Epic Games not long ago and I asked them, where is the advanced storm controller? We had the basic storm controller for the longest time, and everyone's waiting for that advanced storm controller so we can start making moving zones on creative mode. And they're like, yeah, Jack, we're gonna get the advanced storm controller soon. Yeah, just give us a few more days, and we're just focusing on the World Cup, and Boga just won $3 million. All right, for sure, the advanced storm controller is gonna be out soon. So now we have the advanced storm controller and the advanced storm beacon. I'm gonna show you guys how it works. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to spawn one of each of these. So the advanced storm controller and the advanced storm beacon, you can place the advanced storm controller, you can place it wherever you want, it doesn't really matter. And then you can place the beacon, doesn't really matter where you place it. We are gonna first look at the advanced storm controller. You only need one of these per map. You got two options for the storm phases, and this part here is really important. There are two ways to make a moving zone for your creative island. The default setting is just like the battle royale settings. It's a preset of the battle royale storm, so the storm is really randomized, and the custom option allows you to customize the storm how you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and have it set to custom. It depends how you want your island to be and how you want your storm to be. I'm going to have the custom just to show you guys how it works, and later I'm going to show you guys how to make a storm with the default setting. So next option is phase 1 radius. I suggest you changing this. I'm going to have it to 100 meters. To briefly explain to you guys what it is, for the storm on creative mode, there are phases, and the first phase will be 100 meters depending on how I set this up right here. So I'm going to have it set to 100 meters. So the first circle of the storm will actually be 100 meters. All right, next option, delay time before the storm appears. This setting here, you can have it set to whatever you like. I'm going to have it set to none. So when the game does start, you'll actually see the storm. If you have it set to 10 seconds, for example, it'll take 10 seconds after the game starts for the storm to actually appear. All right, so starting phase. So if you want to skip to a phase and try out to see what happens at phase 3, you can go ahead and do that and start the game, and it'll actually start from phase 3. So I guess it's a really good way to experiment and test out your phases. But I'm gonna have it set to phase 1. This option here is pretty cool. Late phases move. If you have it set to yes, it says the last 5 phases of the storm can move outside of the previous phase. If you have it set to no, the last 5 phases of the storm stay inside the previous phase. So this option here, I'm gonna have it set to yes. Again, it's all up to you how you want your settings to be. But yeah, I think this option here is more important if you have the storm phases the default. It doesn't play a huge effect if you have your storm phases the custom. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the advanced storm controller. We're going to go ahead and go to the settings for the advanced storm beacon. These options here, this is actually where you customize every phase for your storm. So what's going to happen is this first option, I'm going to have it the phase 1. So this is the settings I'm going to be messing around with to get the phase 1 down. So the first option, you set it to phase 1. The next option, end radius. This is the radius you'll have for your first circle. I'm going to set it to 40 meters. You can set it up to whatever you like. Wait time before the storm begins to resize. I'm going to set this to 15 seconds. Resize time the storm takes to resize. So this is pretty much the speed of the storm. I'm going to set this to 30 seconds. Damage per second to use while in the storm. I'm going to set this to 1%. Movement behavior, this option here is actually really important. So depending on how you want your storm to work, you can either have it set to move randomly, where the circle is actually randomly placed around the map, or you can have the option set to move to beacon. I'm gonna have it set to move to beacon, so anytime the storm is moving, it'll actually move towards this beacon here. What are you doing, buddy? Something that you should know is if you have movement behavior to move randomly, you might want to have the move distance minimum and the move distance max set to something, and I would probably set it to something between 40 to 100 meters. And how this works, oh my goodness, you guys are so annoying. So what's gonna happen is the circle is actually gonna be 20 to 40 meters around this area. So I'll actually mess around with the movement behavior set to move randomly on another map, and I'll show you guys how that would work. But I'm gonna have it set to beacon, so every time I start a game, the storm will be the exact same. All right, so once you got your advanced storm beacon set up, you're gonna go ahead and duplicate this, and you're gonna go into the settings and change the phase to phase 2, and depending on how much phases you want, go ahead and just keep on duplicating. For example, I'm just gonna go ahead and make 4 phases, 4 beacons, and every beacon here, because I have movement behavior set to move to beacon, all these beacons are its own circle. So what you're gonna have to do is go ahead and place these around the map, and these will actually be different phases for your storm. So obviously these beacons wouldn't be this close, but just for example, what's gonna happen is if I do start the game, first circle will be this one here, then my second circle will be over there, the phase 2, then phase 3 is over there, then phase 4. So easy as that. You can go ahead and customize the different beacons and change the settings how you want for every phase. So like for example, the final phase, you can get creative and you can add more damage. If anyone is caught in the storm, they will take more damage. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You can go ahead and make more beacons, make more circles, make more phases, and get creative and have fun with it. All right, you guys, so I actually have a example. I already made a demo, but to briefly explain to you guys what this is, there is the first circle, which is here, and it's set to phase 1, and I have the different settings, and I made sure movement behavior was set to move to beacon, so the circle will actually be around this beacon here. Then the next beacon over here is phase 2, and pretty much has the same settings. Then phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, and phase 6. Alright, so on this red block here is the first advanced storm beacon, and it will set to phase 1. Now I'm moving towards phase 2, and it took 30 seconds for the storm to move to the beacon. So on this red block here is phase 2. After 15 seconds, we go to the next phase, which is over there. And the final phase. So what if you want a final phase with a final circle that actually disappears? Sadly, there is no option for that from my experience looking through the options. So I think your best bet is to duplicate the final phase and go ahead and have the end radius at 5 meters. There's another thing you can do is have the end radius to don't override, and it actually becomes nothing, but it has issues with it where it's really glitchy and the circle is actually there, it's just invisible. So I think your best bet is to stick with 5 meters for end radius and just get the final players to actually just fight it out. Alright, you guys, we're back and we're actually on another island, and right here, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and mess around with the storm phases set to default instead of custom. So now I actually built everything and the map already works, so we're gonna go ahead and test it out. But to explain to you guys how I made a random zone for creative mode, we're gonna go into the settings here. So in the advanced storm controller, obviously you have the storm phases to default, and all the other options, it's all up to you. So as you can see up here, I have all the different beacons for every single phase. So for phase 1, I have movement behavior to move randomly, and all the other settings, it's all up to you. You can set it up to whatever you like. But what's really important is this bottom settings, because I'm using the movement behavior to move randomly. Movement distance minimum and movement distance max is really important. So I set move distance minimum to 50 meters and move distance max to 100 meters. You can do whatever you like, depending on the resize time and how fast you have the storm. And I made another beacon with phase 2, then so forth. And for the final phases, there's actually a little bit more damage done to players if they're caught in the storm. Also, the move distance minimum and the move distance max, I shortened that a little bit. And yeah, you guys, hopefully my video helps you guys out, so you guys know how to use the advanced storm controller and the advanced storm beacon, and hopefully you guys can make your moving storm on creative mode. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can obviously leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Also, you can support me by using JackjackHD in the item shop. Always appreciated. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace!